call to order the City Council regular meeting for the City of Wyoming, Minnesota, July 7th, 2026. Let the record reflect we do have a quorum. Member Luger, Member Onstad, Member Schilling, Member Yeager, and Mayor Iverson are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item on the agenda is open forum. Open forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items that are or are not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. You will be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you conduct yourself in a professional, courteous manner and refrain from the use of profanity. Failure to abide by this policy may result in the loss of your privilege to speak. Do we have anybody here tonight speaking at open forum? Come on up, Commissioner.
Wanted to come tonight to just to ask what the county can do to help the city, and also just to give you a little update on things happening in the county. Certainly, one of the big challenges that the county has is the share of commercial industrial tax base of our overall county. We've got some really great improvements. However, we are still really in very low shape compared to other counties. I think that we need to continue to struggle to keep the taxes low as possible in the county, and also try to encourage businesses to locate within our county. Basically, living next to a state which has a different value or apportionment towards the tax burden towards businesses versus homes is flipped from what the state does. So it does make it hard for us to have a good tax base. Is there something that I can be working on for? And I should mention also, as you are aware, the county is currently dealing with a strike of some of our best employees, and we are in constant contact with, daily contact with the state mediator, and we are going to be meeting tomorrow in closed session as well, which I appreciate. It's been too long, and I know that there are service issues which the supervisory staff and other counties are trying to help us. But we need our employees back, so looking forward to that as soon as possible. I did talk with, or I should say, Liberty Ponds Development. They give a presentation to the county. They asked for a subordinate service district, which our county attorney indicates that we cannot be involved in. We cannot do that. I don't know if the city can do that, but that's not one of the things that we can do. I know that the city is looking, I've heard that the city is looking at ways to help. We would like to partner with the city. We can't do a subordinate service district. We appreciated that when we came. It's going to be a very difficult situation, not their fault. But it's just a really huge expense.
Commissioner Dunn was supposed to do some research. Have you seen the results yet?
She has not reported back, so I'll
Okay.
talk with her tomorrow. Also, staff is also looking as well, so I don't know if we have it on. So is there anything that I should be aware of that I should work on?
You have a couple things. So first of all, we already have something worked out with Liberty Ponds. I don't know how much they shared with you on that. So I think that should you need any more information on that, just reach out to me with that.
We'll do that.
Yeah, and then every time you come in, I ask crosswalk over by Bruce's Foods. So whatever we can do to get some money for that crosswalk would be fantastic.
Madam Mayor, let's put that on top agenda.
Yeah, let's put that at the very top of exclamation point, please.
This is why I need to be here.
Yeah, And then my other question is this. The watershed district as a taxing entity has come up quite a bit. And I understand that that's really kind of under the umbrella of county commissioners, right? So my concern is they keep going over budget by millions of dollars. So how is the county commissioners and the counties looking at that, seeing that they are a taxing entity and there's no watch over that? Can you kind of fill me in on how that works?
No, the term of the current person from our city is coming up in a few months, I believe. And it's certainly, their own taxing entity, that's correct. And there have been some larger increases in their budget. I do think that to some extent that they worked really hard and put a lot of money into projects which benefited the Washington County part of the community, or the local government entity. And now the projects that are currently coming in, which are important for Comfort Lake and other areas, are now getting the price tag on that. So it does look like there would be, that is, I think, a lot of the rationale for why this increase this year. The votes have been unanimous as far as their budget goes on that unit of local government. And they are independent of what they are. Two of the members are recommended by the county board. And I know that the county board is concerned about the prices. I did have a conversation with one of the members just this week, and that continues to be a concern. I also want to acknowledge that much of the tax base of those taxes come from Washington County. And the members from Chisago County did support this large spending to work on lakes in Washington County. And I want to make sure that our lakes are also protected as well.
Yeah,
It's certainly a concern. The pricing
yeah.
is not something the county's done, or less, and nor the city. Both of us don't have double-digit increases.
Yeah, I think it's concerning. They've done some really great things. I would totally agree with that. They've done some really great things. But when you have a 23% increase year over year and you go over budget on a project by $1, $2, or $3 million, that really kind of states that there needs to be some other oversight into that. And the great thing is not every resident of Wyoming is in the watershed district, right? But those of us that are, which there are quite a few, we agree they're doing good things, but when you're overspending by that much and they're appointed instead of elected, it does get to be a little bit of an issue for our residents that are in the watershed district. So I was just trying to figure out how they can, how they can approve that. And if we did that and we did something and it was $2 million over budget, we would all be fired. Right? So hopefully we can have more conversation, me and you, about that to kind of see what's a better way to keep an eye on this. So
I really appreciate your
yeah,
concern.
thank you.
I know that the county board as well is also aware of it as well.
Yeah,
And
so,
is concerned.
okay, appreciate that. So crosswalk, watershed,
Okay.
or vice versa.
I've got
Go
something
ahead.
too. And I just wanted to chime in and note, I know that you mentioned there will be mediation, a closed-door mediation tomorrow.
No, closed doors are a closed session.
Oh, closed session, okay,
The county board is meeting on an issue,
okay.
which I really support. I think we need to be meeting regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is now one of the longest, if not the longest, public sector strikes in the history of the state. And so it's really important to be able to get folks back to work. And I just would, hopefully want to encourage commissioners to continue to work and discuss the issue in good faith and with a shared goal of getting our health and human service workers back on the job.
Very important.
Yeah.
Public health as well, and some office workers as well, so there's others as well. Thank you for that. And I'll share that with the county board tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, Any other comments or questions?
Thank you.
No? All right. Thank you for being in the hot seat.
No, I'm happy to be here.
Appreciate it.
Come back next month.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Maybe some good news, maybe.
Maybe.
Or at
That
least-
crosswalk would be great news. I'd be doing the happy dance in front of everybody.
That-
So, on the
On the
crosswalk too,
crosswalk.
when it comes in, exactly. So, all right. Thank you, Commissioner.
We'll walk across it together.
There we
You could do
go.
like a Beatles thing.
It could be,
Abbey Lane.
exactly. How fun would that be? So, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right, anybody else for open forum? Please make sure you state your name and address, even though I know who you are.
Ken Rutherford, 4700 East Viking Boulevard. Couple things I want to address here. It was brought to the planning commission here. The property behind me, Mr. Morris's and Sunrise Estates, I'm looking at their plans of water. And they had a guy specialty here on that water plan, told us 2 weeks ago that there's no more excess water gonna go into the holding pond to the south end of the property, southeast. I looked at that, and I looked with my neighbor, we both walked his property, and went back there looking. As a contractor is doing snow removal, and I looked at the plans that they have here, which is submitted to you guys tonight. As a contractor, I'm a bid on all these properties, right straight across the board, and probably undercut a lot of people, and it's the same thing. I'm gonna take all that snow from the north end, I'm gonna move it all the way down the south end. As I look at this, that's gonna overflow those ponds. Where's that water gonna go? It's gonna go on Tony's land, it's gonna go back there on my land, and probably push, not right, but out onto 22, the way this is designed, what they got shown here. That's a concern here I'm looking at afterwards. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty okay idea at the meeting till I actually started looking at the plans a little bit deeper on that. Water goes to the lowest point, we all know that. We also know what goes on those grounds, there's gonna be trash, there's gonna be salt and sand that's going down there in this holding pan and all that. We're gonna have trash going into my property here. One of the things I would like to see some sort of private expense between the two properties as well as of all that, dividing that all up so I don't get as much into my woods. And the same thing, Tony agreed. As we're looking at this a little bit further on, a couple of years ago, they also told us back there in the old golf course that the old house back there and the old clubhouse would be torn down within a matter of time, reasonable time. That was about 4 years ago, and it's still standing there. Eyesore in the city. As we move forward as going on this development, not against it, not for it, but we gotta keep in mind, we have a development just south of here, that there's only a couple of houses built, another area that is tore up and no house is moving in anytime soon. Cost of living is going up, I get that. Interest rates came down, yep, housing, okay, but guess what's happened this month? Trump is putting the tariffs back on the stuff, so everything, the low prices and all that going up. I would hate to see that land start getting disturbed there, and all of a sudden we get people putting houses back there bankrupt to be part of the development like happened in Forest Lake 9 years ago on the edge of Forest Lake. 3 houses got built, and guess what? They went bankrupt because the guys that put the money down in the house couldn't get financing because the banks got greedy. Those houses sat, cost a lot of money to the contractor to build and get going. Same thing as I'm looking here. The other thing I looked at addressing on this here, so you guys know, is the traffic, what's going on there. As we move forward with this plan, I'm out front of my house, the city, they put a sign out there, and tells you how fast that you're going into town. Our police force do a great job as it is. We don't have enough patrol here out there right now as it is. I see it all the time. I almost got hit getting in my driveway coming home from work today because I'm doing 140. Guess what's right there? That 50-mile zone, and the guy's got to crank it up. There's a major safety issue there, and I know that comes down into the city, it comes down to the county, and it also comes down to the highway department as with the direction of that road up there. I talked to other neighbors around, we would love to see it from the county line all the way through town at 35 miles an hour. My son has to walk from my driveway to the neighbor's driveway to catch a school bus at 6:30 in the morning, and I got video and I have pictures which I sent to you all of that sign out there flashing 60 miles an hour for a 17-year-old And the other kid from the other house, they said we could switch it. He's 12 years old, ADHD, walking on the highway, even worse yet. So there's that big of concerns I got going there. The big is the water runoff, the way I look at these plans, do not add up in any which way I look at. I did send a message off to our city watering guy, Mark, I believe his name, to overlook at it. So I don't know if it went through or not, but we talked before on the phone. And the building of the houses back there, you know, it's an eyesore we got going there. Wants to pursue with building this, but he's failed to do his end of the bargain here, of taking care of what's gonna happen, what's gonna be next. Thank yous for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Erickson, well, can you address that, maybe you and Mr. Reeves, or how that all, works with snow and?
Yeah, I have traded emails with the gentleman and offered to meet in person with he and his neighbors, and I haven't heard back on the time and date, but I'd be happy to meet. That offer still stands. We've done a very detailed review like we do with all of our developments, both pre-development and post-development, to ensure that it does meet our rules. And so I guess that my offer still stands. I'd be happy to meet with the landowners adjacent there and go in depth into the drainage analysis that was completed for the project.
Okay, perfect.
There was a lot of back and forth, so when
Yeah.
our initial submittal had to come in, it did not meet our standards, and so it was quite an iterative process to get to the point where it does meet our standards, and so we can certainly meet with the residents adjacent there at any time and meet up here at City Hall or at their homes and on site, we'd be happy to do that.
Perfect, thank you. Chief Bauer, Speed, which I know is a county road over there, right? So, my question to that is, can the Minnesota State Patrol go out there? Can the county sheriffs go out there? I used to live out there, actually, so I know that no matter what, people go really fast. It's been that way forever.
Mhm.
But is there something where we can do, it's hard to park a car out there, right?
Yes. We've discussed this at length with multiple different speed complaints. Ultimately, changing a speed limit does not make a huge impact across the board. It requires constant reinforcement if you're going to do that. Ultimately, road design changes behaviors. We've seen it on the East Viking project with the efforts that were put in there with the narrowing of the
Yep.
roadways, those type of things, really is what makes long-term change. I don't know that that's outside of our scope. We do make an effort to be out there, but as I mentioned before, we have one, max 2 officers on duty at any given time. We do make an effort to be out there, but it is ultimately our responsibility. It's within our jurisdiction. So I'm hoping, I don't know that speed limit change is the ultimate fix. Everyone really hopes that would be. And we've done some research internally as well that it just doesn't make a significant impact in driver behavior. People generally drive the speed that they feel is appropriate, and it is the reality of it. So it doesn't mean that we can't make an effort and do that. I've just pulled up complaints from Mr. Rutherford, and we have 2 complaints about speed out there. We have done follow-up on that as well. So.
Okay, and can we work with our county neighbors, Anoka County? Because a lot of people are coming through from Anoka County into our county, right? Is there any way to kind of work with that entity?
There's aspects of when we do TZD, towards zero death enforcement efforts that are grant funded. That could potentially, when there's a speed one, they do pick locations. That it's usually per county. That wouldn't be Anoka County, but we can add it to the list of locations for that, sure.
Okay, and then I don't know who to address this to, but could the school district move where the bus stop is and go across to the other side of the neighborhood? I don't know where that goes, who can answer that, but that might be an answer. I don't think anybody should be trying to get the bus on that road, so I don't know if that's something. I could call the bus
I can
garage,
reach
too.
out. That's not the scope of
Right,
we
what
can-
we
our
do, I
influence,
know,
and,
yeah.
But I'm happy to reach out to throw the idea out there. I know
Yeah.
that is a logistical something well beyond anything I would want to do, is figuring out how to pick up that many kids and,
Yeah.
and make it done in a matter of
Yeah.
minutes, so.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just know I lived across the street from Mr. Rutherford back in the
Absolutely,
day.
yes.
So, and we had bus stops not on the highway. So
Can I
that was
ask
my
a
only
follow-up
thought.
question? Where exactly is the stop that you're,
So I lived on, what's the name of the street? So it's just before the Anoka County sign billboard.
Yeah, East Viking.
East Viking, yeah, East Viking Lane, thank you. It's been 40 years. So, yeah, so that first house that's right on the
Yep.
corner on East Viking, that was the house that we
are we,
lived
are we
in.
talking the stop on the east side of?
What do
East
you think,
Viking
Fred?
Lane, or the west?
Are we talking about the bus?
Which one?
Oh, the one is.
East?
that
Okay,
one.
got it, okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun over there on that bus stop, so, just so y'all know. All right, thank you, I appreciate that, so. All right, anybody else wish to speak? All right, seeing none, we're gonna move on to number 1, consider approving the minutes of the work session of the Wyoming, Minnesota City Council for June 16th, 2026. If there are no comments or changes, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by member Schilling, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Onstad, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Number 2, consider approving the minutes of the regular meeting of the Wyoming, Minnesota City Council for June 16th, 2026. There are no comments or questions. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by member Schilling. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Onstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. The consent agenda, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Does anybody wish to pull any of those items from the consent agenda? Seeing none, we need a motion to approve. I'm not going to read it all again. So 3 through 16, do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Onstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Acknowledge receipts of reports of officer boards, commissions, and department heads. Number 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Does anybody wish to pull and 22. Does anybody wish, nope, I'm sorry, 17 through 21. We're sticking with that. Anybody wish to pull an item from the reports for further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move on to number 22, communications, results of radiochemical monitoring in the city of Wyoming. Who's taking that?
Mr. Erickson is going to give a brief update on that.
Thank you.
I can just very briefly update that. As you know, we do get results annually on the results of that testing. The numbers have gone down slightly. It's something that we continue to rely on them for guidance. They do continue to provide that guidance. And again, we're monitoring for long-term improvement needs potentially with treatment and things of that nature. We're not at that stage yet. We may be at some time in the future, but again, just wanted to let you know that we have received that communication. We will continue to monitor, as I mentioned, and keep you updated if there's anything alarming, but we don't expect that.
Perfect. Any questions from council, starting with member Luger,
No questions.
member Onstad?
No questions.
Member Schilling?
No questions.
Member Yeager?
No questions.
Mayor Iverson has none either. Thank you very much. We'll move on to number 23, to consider resolution 260776, a resolution approving a preliminary plot D 26004, Sunrise Riverbank Commercial, location East Viking Boulevard, Greenwood Golf Course site, application Richard Morris of NTDCOM LLC, property ID number 21.00012.20 and 21.10302.33. Mr. Weck, are you taking this one?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor and Commissioners, this Sunrise River Commercial Development, this is the commercial side of the Sunrise Riverbank. Should actually say Sunrise Riverbank Commercial Development, sorry. But this is the commercial side. I gotta turn it on. So the preliminary plat consists of 15.6 acre site. They're gonna develop it into 3 parcels that are usable, and then 1 outlot that'll be used for stormwater. The anticipated land uses are high-density residential, like an apartment building, a hotel, and a convenience store with gas. Property is currently zoned and guided for mixed use. There's a master development plan review that will be coming up to the planning commission, I believe on the 28th. And then after that, for each of those individual uses, there'll be conditional use permits and or site plans for each of those as they're going through. The individual lots are meeting the requirements for the mixed use development dimensions. Some points about the site: wetlands. There are wetlands on the site. There are some wetland impacts that they're going through right now. That's right now in the process to get those approved. There's partial floodplain near the area where the gas station will be. The city engineer is looking for additional information just to make sure we don't cause any additional flooding or make sure we have storage capacity for that water. For the transportation plan, staff is recommending a temporary traffic signal at the intersection of County Road 22 and Kettle River Boulevard. In the next 10 years or so, MnDOT and the county will be creating turnarounds or roundabouts, I'm sorry.
It's the same.
They all doing the same
It's
thing,
all the
yes.
same.
So roundabouts at the location shown on the screen there. Again, we're recommending that the developer install that temporary traffic signal at that location to take care of the traffic from his development. Utilities, stormwater management, their stormwater pond is being taken care of on some outlots. Their city sewer and water is being provided by the city. The new water tower was part of the reason for that. Doing new public roadways. Kettle River Boulevard will remain open, so that'll be paved from County Road 22 to the new 270th Street that they'll be creating. That'll head west towards the residential development, and there'll also be a cul-de-sac within that part on the commercial side. Plat review standards. Preliminary plat meets all of the city requirements. Staff is recommending approval with the 8 conditions that are listed in the resolution and the staff report. They do need to make a park dedication. We'll be looking for a fee in lieu of land at this point. There are some. The city Joint Park and Planning Board looked at park dedication requirements for this back in 2022 or 23. I haven't had a chance to re-review them, so we'll look at that. But it'll be cash donation. Sorry. Next steps, what I mentioned prior, the mixed-use district master development plan, those conditional use permits for the site plan review, and then also the final plat for the preliminary plat. And the Planning Commission is recommending approval with those 8 conditions recommended by staff.
Mr. Weck, I have a couple questions. So there's been question regarding pavement of the road for Hastings. When this development goes in, they're going to go so far,
Correct.
pay for that, and that makes it less for the Hastings or Hunted Hayride to pay, correct?
That'd be correct, yes.
Okay. And then park dedication, seeing that this is a retail kind of development, were we thinking there'd be a park?
Well, part of it's retail, but part of it's also an apartment building, which is residential, so that's
Okay.
going to depend on how many units they have
Yeah.
and end up with. So it is also a commercial type use, but it's also, the reason for the park dedication fee is because of the increased population, and that's the reason for that, so.
Okay,
So
and
the-
if I remember correctly, the last time they came before us, there was a park kind of heading towards the water.
There's a park that's over on the residential side that's
Okay,
meeting the requirements for that side.
Yeah.
Just now this
This
side
is different.
also has park
Okay.
requirements, sorry.
all right. Those were my only questions. We will start with Member Onstad.
No questions.
Member Luger.
No questions.
Member Yeager.
Okay, so what's in your commercial is acceptable for mixed use, but the lots appear to consist primarily of the 100-unit apartment building with a tiny bit of commercial in the form of a quick trip and a hotel. Over the years that I've been on this council, I've seen many plans for hotel go belly up. And I even noticed in Chisago City, their hotel went from a recognizable brand to some kind of off-brand. So my question for that is, can the hotel be converted into an apartment building or something else? Should it not make it as a hotel?
Hotels, say you got an 80-unit hotel, if you ever convert that, the hotels, when they're too small for apartments, so if like an 80 room, you kind of convert that, it goes down and down and down, so you need about 3 hotel rooms to make 1 apartment.
So, okay, did we end up with a white elephant on our hands?
You know, ma'am, I don't think anybody can predict, but most hotel builders are gonna do a demographic study, they're gonna find out what the need is, what the demographics of the area, before they even spend the millions to build one.
So there's a possibility that we might not even get a hotel if the demographics don't work out.
This community needs a hotel.
Well, we've heard that for years.
When I speak with community builders of industry in town, international business coming into town, right now they're housing everybody in Lima Lakes and Forest Lake and different communities. So it's up to the person that buys that lot to build a hotel. Like I said, I doubt if anybody would build it if it was questionable.
Yeah, see, my concern would be, everybody would continue to go down to like the, what is it, Country Inn down in Forest Lake if we have a, like, no-named hotel. You know what I'm trying to say? Like an off-brand or, something that wasn't national branded.
Yeah, everybody moves out from so far in the national brand.
Okay, cool.
The last couple that were very, very interesting happened to be, one was a combination choice, was 60 hotel rooms and 20 extended stay. The other was another extended stay, and they told them that both of them walked away.
Okay,
We're looking for a different type of hotel with a strictly hotel, no extended stay.
oh, cool. Works for me. To build on what the mayor was saying about what Pine Haven's going to have to pave, will their CUP have to be revised to reflect the lesser amount of Kettle River that they will have to pave?
I would have to look at the exact wording of the resolution, but I don't think it's specific to like a set length or anything like that. So if we're paving to where their pavement exists, I think they've met their requirements. We're not gonna make them pave
Okay,
something that's
'cause
already paved.
what I remembered was that they were supposed to pave from their farm down to by the animal hospital where that was
Mhm.
already paved.
Yep,
And it sounds like
the 270th is
we'll
between
be
that.
a little bit north of that, so they
Correct.
won't have to go as far. So
Yeah.
I didn't know, like I said, you have to look at the,
Right, so if anything, Pine Haven will be paving less pavement or less of the road after this
yeah,
development
but
is done.
you have to look at the exact wording to make sure that they are.
Right, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I can look and get back to you in a couple seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, then the last question is, since there is a park plan for the area, are you planning to put a trail from the apartment building or the hotel to said park?
Now, there's sidewalks installed from the hotel, apartment building, over to the residential section, that takes you right past the park. There will also be a walkway from the hotel apartment building down along our utility line, maintenance line, and it'll take everybody from there to walk down to either Kettle River or the village.
Oh, okay. Weren't you saying once that there was supposed to be something that walks into the wetlands?
We at one time, it gets complicated. We no longer own the wetland mitigation bank, that's owned by a national wetland firm. So we do have a walking trail from the residential development that goes back to the vacated 28 or 30.
Yeah.
We have way to the back. So residents in that residential take their dog to walk that 20-foot wide trail all the way back to that.
But there's no plans on connecting that with the hotel or anything, or the apartment building?
No.
Okay, that's all I had.
But I mean, you can't prevent somebody from walking on the sidewalk.
Well, no,
Back,
but as long as there was some way of getting back,
yeah, primarily for the residents of the residence.
yeah.
Okay. Member Schilling?
I actually have no questions.
Okay, I don't have any questions either, I just have a couple of thoughts here. First of all, I mean, just questioning the hotel, it's one of those things that the county has actually done a lot of studies, that this is definitely an area that we do need, instead of them going to White Bear Lake or to what you said, Dennis, or going all over the place, whatever, right? So it is definitely needed, there's definitely been a lot of studies. The other thing is, just by picking out a hotel versus the gas station, a gas station can go under, a retail store can go under. So just picking on a hotel kind of really doesn't make any sense on that. I do know I appreciate the sidewalks. Moving those people are very important, right? Getting those people moving. So that's a really good thing. So I appreciate that. I know there's been a lot of changes, but that's something that happens on a property that's as complicated as this. So for us to go back and say, well, what about this and this and this? This is what we're focused on right now. So appreciate that. If there are no other questions, we need a motion to approve Resolution 260776. I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to make the first. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Member Luker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. To consider Resolution 260777, a resolution approving an economic development district and economic development plan, therefore. I don't know what therefore. Is there something after the therefore?
Therefore.
It's therefore. Okay, Mr. Linwood?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Tonight, we are having the council review the approval of Economic Development District. Over the past several years, the council and has evaluated the city's municipal facilities and long-term operational needs. We've done that through facility studies, planning efforts, and property acquisition, and now we've gone through our design development, construction bidding, and financing discussions. So the council has worked to identify solutions that address our areas, the city hall, the fire department, in a second phase, the police department, while positioning our community for to be able to provide those services and give those service providers spaces that allow them to do so. As part of that process, the council evaluated different financing options under the available state law to support that. And based on that evaluation, the council identified to use an economic development authority as our preferred financing mechanism for the project. On June 22nd, after we had a public hearing, the Wyoming Economic Development Authority approved the establishment of an economic development district and adopted the accompanying economic development plan. This is in accordance with the city's enabling resolution for the EDA. The proposed district is basically encompasses the entire boundaries of the city of Wyoming. That way also it is able to carry out economic development activities along with potentially the financing of our public facilities. Essentially, the plan identifies a broad range of eligible public improvements and economic development activities, including our city hall, police, public safety facilities, fire facilities, public infrastructure, and other projects that could promote economic development throughout the city. It also provides the EDA with the authority to utilize financing mechanisms authorized under Minnesota state statute, including lease revenue financing and other revenue supported obligations. Approval of the Economic Development District and the Economic Plan provides a statutory framework necessary for the EDA support future economic development activities and eligible public improvement projects throughout the city. This adoption of the district plan tonight does not authorize the issuance of any debt or approve any specific financing at this point. Any future financing or project approvals will require separate action by both the City of Wyoming EDA and the City Council. With that, city staff is recommending that the City Council approve Resolution 260777, resolution approving an economic development district and economic development plan. I can stand for any questions.
Mr. Linwood, I'm going to start with questions. I think our EDA is very respectful and have a lot of ideas on how to bring business to us. Can you list some of the things that we do in order to talk to our businesses? What do our businesses need to show that why this is important?
Sure, I think our EDA, I think your best economic development is making sure that you continue to have the businesses that are here located in the city to stay in the city. So our city, we work, Mr. McFarland and I do a lot of business retention visits with our businesses to just kind of form relationships and see what's going on. Our EDA has continued to identify ways to improve our business climate, going through those different things as far as trying to engage the businesses and working through this, an economic development plan we have in the past, tried to do some workforce housing. It's through this plan that would allow us, whether we look at different things, maybe it's for workforce housing, if I can speak, or any other potential redevelopment districts or anything that could be something that the city, so it would really leave us not only for financing ability, it would allow us for a lot of different economic development impact through this plan.
Okay, and I also think we're the city of Wyoming and Chisago County are trailblazers in terms of the real estate conference we go to. We were kind of the first city to attend, and now there's what? Quite a few.
Yes, there are now, yes. But
Yeah.
We've been doing that for a lot of time, and that's coming up again. But yeah, the MinCar event is always a great way to get the city name out there and talk to developers and architects and builders and really let them know that we're trying to continue to improve that business climate in the city.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right, questions starting with Member Schilling.
I actually have no questions.
Okay, Member Yeager.
Okay, when I looked at the plan, I looked at section 6 and 7, talks about property acquisition and the financing. Okay, so it talks about through the issuance of lease revenue obligations in connection with the EDA may acquire a leasehold interest in the property on which the project will be located, lease such facilities back to the city and pledge lease revenues from the city to pay debt service on certain bonds of the EDA. So is this saying that the EDA can potentially own the facilities?
That'll be further down the line. This is just for the economic development plan tonight, but yes, as part of that structure, the city will have a ground lease with the existing property, and that'll go to the EDA. And essentially, that'll be as part of a future council meeting when we actually go through the process of selling bonds, if the council approves this tonight, when there actually will be talking about that term that basically connects the property and sells the property to the EDA for $1 and then has a term for that lease agreement. So essentially, the EDA would issue the bonds and make the proceeds available to the city to construct the building and the improvements on behalf of the EDA under a lease purchase agreement. So
Okay, so you're basically gonna sell it to the EDA and then you'll create a lease purchase agreement?
correct, but that'll be when we go through the structure of the bonds. So we probably look at having that information at our July 21st meeting if the council were to approve this tonight.
Okay, and then since this plan seems to be primarily geared towards facilities, funding facilities, and other projects that may come along, besides being necessary to secure funding, what specifically can this plan do that the EDA can't already do?
It basically provides flexibility to support redevelopment, infrastructure improvements, public facilities, future economic development initiatives. It's not that the EDA can't do it. It establishes the district and allows for when there is an opportunity that arises, it provides long-term economic development tool for the entire community, not solely just for this project.
Okay. Okay, so I do have some concerns about this. One, that since the plan exists primarily to secure a lease revenue bond, lease revenue funding, that will be substantially more than issuing GO bonds, general obligation bonds. I'm really concerned about how much an EDA will increase taxes with the projects going, when they find other projects going forward. To me, I don't have enough specifics of what this plan can do or not do besides finance projects with taxpayer dollars. And as I read through the plan, I have a lot of skepticism at the idea that remodeling facilities will provide, quote, a stimulating effect for the development of other parcels. I think there's a high probability that the reverse will happen, that commercial and residential developers will see the higher taxes generated by these bonds and avoid Wyoming unless they are given substantial tax breaks. So, I said, my concerns.
Okay. Member Lugar.
I have no questions.
Member Ronstadt.
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Linwood, we do have some properties that have been trying to come here through the process, those apartments and stuff, right? And so by having this, we kind of are a step ahead of those apartments coming in and working with the EDA for some of that funding, correct?
It was intentionally drafted to include some of those other future activities throughout the city, not solely just for the financing component.
Yeah, and then if we have any buildings that are condemned and might need to be taken down and having people look at that for possible potential development.
For redevelopment, yep.
This also helps this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so, and I guess I don't agree with, Member Yeager that it's gonna make business less come here. I just don't agree with that. So, I'm all for this. In fact, I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 260777, a resolution approving an economic development district and economic development plan. Therefore, I love that last word there, sorry. So, so I make the first. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by, Member Schilling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so approved. Number 25, to consider calling for a public hearing for the submittal of an application to the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development for Minnesota Investment Fund, known as the MIF grant. Mr. Linwood, this is exciting.
It is exciting. I'm happy to say that businesses do want to be in Wyoming and
They
are
do.
creating new facilities in Wyoming. So,
Yep.
very exciting news that we have been working with Rosenbauer, and they're going to be creating about approximately a 45,000 to 50,000 square foot building along with some additions. An estimated about 20 million in private capital investment that they will not be asking the city for any assistance on this other than utilizing deeds tools through the Minnesota Investment Fund and the Job Creation Fund. So this is an exciting proposal. There are some renderings within your packet, but the expansion project is already expected to create what an existing facility with 650 employees currently, 57 new full-time positions. So further strengthening Wyoming's employment base and supporting our continued growth as one of the city's largest employers, and also this company being internationally recognized for the manufacturing of fire apparatus. Through this project, as I identified, there is a $200,000 MIF investment fund that is administered through the city of Wyoming, but it's awarded, if awarded, the funding is provided by the state of Minnesota and is contingent upon Rosenbauer's meeting specified capital investment and job creation commitments, buying equipment, creating those jobs. And the city just serves as a sponsor for the application. We do not provide the funding for the project. So as part of that, deed requires the city to hold a public hearing prior to submitting the application. The purpose of that hearing is to provide information regarding the project proposed, requesting state funding and opportunity for public comment. The expansion represents one of the largest private investments in Wyoming in recent years. Beyond the nearly 20 million private investment, the project will create high-quality manufacturing jobs, expands the city's industrial tax base, increase production capacity, and reinforce Rosenbauer America's long-term commitment to the city of Wyoming. So very exciting news. What we're asking the council tonight is to move forward with calling that public hearing on August 5th, 2026, as part of that proposed application to the Minnesota Department of Economic Development for that MIF fund in assistance of $200,000. So at this time, we would just ask the council to call for that public hearing.
Okay, questions? We'll start with Member Luger, because she hasn't been first for a while. So.
I have no questions. I'm sorry to disappoint.
All right. Member Onstad.
No questions, but I am glad to see another Wyoming company that's growing, expanding, and calling this town home.
All right, thank you. Member Schilling.
No questions. Very exciting project coming up. I like seeing the additional jobs, and again, reinvestment and staying here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Member Yeager.
No questions. This is so cool.
All right, and I will say that knowing that this is coming, the west side development over there and having the apartments and having more housing and stuff will be good for the people that are gonna be working there, those additional jobs, so it's nice to have that as well. And I just wanna again state that this is just a pass-through. This is not something that Wyoming is giving any money to. I think that's super important, because sometimes it's misunderstood how that works.
We're just the sponsor for the application, but state funding, correct?
Yeah, that's all we're doing. So I'm very excited for this and excited for Rosenbauer. I do know that we are known throughout the state for Rosenbauer, and it actually brings people in from outside of the United States. So I will make the motion calling for the public hearing for the Minnesota Development of Employment and Economic Development. Is that on next meeting?
It would be August 5th, 2 meetings from now.
Okay.
And
All right.
that'll be on a Wednesday, right?
You are correct, Wednesday, August 5th, because night to night.
Yeah, we can't wait for Chief Bauer to give us an update on that. So we have a first, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second by Member Onstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We will consider that on August 5th. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, council reports. Let's start with Member Onstad.
I attended Park Advisory Commission last night and the work session prior to this meeting.
Okay.
Thanks for everyone coming.
And Member Luker?
I attended the work session earlier tonight. Thanks for coming.
Okay. And Member Yeager?
Oh, I attended the work session earlier this evening, and thanks for coming, and thanks for watching.
Member Schilling?
I also attended the work session prior to this meeting, and thanks to everybody that came in and anybody watching. Have a great night.
Okay. I did,
Fred, you have something?
Fred?
I just want to answer Commissioner, Councilmember Yeager's question. They're extending, beginning from the property owner's property, extending south along the boulevard up to the existing paved service near East Viking Boulevard. So the existing paved service, whether that's existing today or existing when they do it, I think it's covering
Oh,
up
cool.
to it, so.
Good job, attorneys. Good job.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I also attended the park commission or the park board, but only as a resident because I had some ideas to share. So I did attend that. I attended the work session. Also, I attended the League of Minnesota Cities conference along with Mr. McFarland and Mr. Linwood. It's always a great time to learn how to, one, for me to be a better mayor, and different ideas that we can bring back to the city. That is something that, for me personally, I do take vacation time for that, and it's a 3-day event. So really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that, and it just is a wealth of information. I don't think I could do my job as well as I do without that, so appreciate that. I think I attended something else, but I'm drawing a blank on what that might be, but it's no big deal. I'm excited to hear from Chief Bauer on updates that we have and coming up soon.
So, August 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Goodview Park, we'll have our 1990 event. We'll have information out this week on vendors that would like to participate. Obviously, they can't sell anything, but it is a great way for businesses, community organizations, and other groups to come forward and have a table, a display set up where hopefully there's some activities that the residents can participate in. Working on getting our food trucks scheduled, and we also have a donation from the Chief Association on helping to support them. We also are working on one more donation from a potential community business that will be contributing as well. So we've got that coming up. And then another thing I'll mention, on the 27th of this month, the Chisago Lakes Triathlon will be coming through Wyoming. That is new. They changed the route, so they'll be coming through that morning. So we'll see some impact on some traffic, not huge impact, but between 7 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. If residents would like to cheer them on, it's coming down Wyoming Trail, going behind Bruce's, and essentially snaking through the neighborhood up to Forest Boulevard, and then meeting up with another group at 295th. So that's pretty cool. A lot of bikers coming to town in the morning, and over there to support the community.
So it's a try. So you've got swimming, running, and biking. So the biking portion is coming through us? Okay, so it sounds like it's a challenge that all the council members go out with their cowbells and cheer on these riders.
I thought you were gonna ride. Okay, yep, sure.
My pedal assist
I
bike,
think that's a quorum.
yeah. Maybe the swimming part, why not,
We can
right?
just publish it.
So I will put something out there to our residents. It means the world to these athletes to have people cheering them along the route. So I will have signs, I have additional cowbells. I have, what else do I have, Brett?
Well, I had my dogs.
Okay,
They always
well,
like to come.
They do, all right. So we're looking forward to
But
that.
it's the cowbell.
Yeah.
It's the cowbell that,
It does it all the time.
we need more cowbell.
We do. I'll make sure I get extra. So, all right, that sounds perfect. Grant, any updates? I'm trying to remember where we're at. I know we have Stomp Out Suicide coming up. I know we have the Stagecoach Days coming up, which is a week later, if I have that correctly. Am I
Yep.
missing anything else?
I don't believe anything else. We continue to work with the permitting for both Stagecoach Day and Stomp Out Suicide. And you are correct that it is 1 week later than normal for Stomp Out, or for Stagecoach Day. So
And it's a week earlier for Stomp Out Suicide, actually.
I don't know on that one, but that sounds
Yeah,
right. So
yeah, that one's a week early. So a lot going on. I'm excited to say a lot is going on within the city of Wyoming. We've got a lot of great things happening that has taken a lot of time to get here. So super excited for everything that our staff is doing to make all of that happen in our council. So with that, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion to adjourn by member Luker. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by member Schilling. All in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned at 7:55.